So here we are at session 111 to finish up the combat from last session. Who wants to give a recap of what happened last time?
We found ourselves in a city at the end of the previous session where we it was a teleportation spell gone wrong, but not as wrong as it could have been. So it took us to like some place that is like Dohat Bajar, but not Dohat Bajar. We learned that it's Qaryat al-Nazr. Um, Zarius got hit with the astral plague because teleportation is a spell that is susceptible to that sort of thing, and he developed a bunch of sores all over his leg. It's leaking out pus. It it's pretty
Serum, technically, does it just this odorless fluid, a little yellow saline fluid, but it's not pus, it's not infected.
It's just he's getting old. That's really what it is. It has nothing to do with it. Like
A little bit of the diabetes.
Yep.
It's under control.
Yeah, sure.
I guess I interpreted yellowish salty liquid as pus, but that's fair. Zarius.
Hey, do we know it was salty? Did anybody taste it?
Yeah, of course. The first thing I did.
You
How am I supposed to diagnose myself?
Exactly.
Darius is like, I've been drinking my own pee the whole time, haven't you guys?
And you know the gustatory that check is part of the science process. Got to taste it. Zarya sensed that there was undead all around us. We heard some child's laughter, and then a red dragon board run past. They appeared to be playing some sort of game. It seemed like the time changed. Like it was like, I don't know if it was night and it became dark, or if it was dark and then it became day.
It was sort of late afternoon, and then it sort of alternated between night and day. And then eventually it ended, and it seemed as if it was about noon. So it was like you ended up earlier in the day than it was a few moments before.
I really got the sense that there was some sort of time change around us. We at some point we realized that we were kind of in the past. We're in the past of Qaryat al-Nazr and not in the present Qaryat al-Nazr. I think we learned at some point that this was the first civilization. This was like where the Dragonborn first came into the world after their exile from the plane, or from the previous. They were exiled, and this was where they first got in to settle in the known world. Zarius.
And let's not worry about who forced them into exile.
Yeah.
We could point fingers, but
it was T-Hole knows nothing about it. They exiled themselves, maybe.
They were looking for a change.
Zarius is there was like a market and all with fruit, but all the fruit was rotten. Zarius spoke with one of the merchants, and then he died. There was this happened a couple times, but he said he didn't feel well, and then like his essence was ripped from his body, and then he became a husk on the ground. But nobody reacted to this. Like this was, it went unnoticed by everybody except for us. T-Hole got a new suit. It was made of silk.
Just waiting for it to just disintegrate off of you.
Yeah. It makes this nice swish sound. But it's white and it's like a full body thing. So it looks very, it's very fashionable of the era. He was trying to blend in. She mentioned that there was the War of Flame and Sorrow was ongoing, but like that is known to be like a millennium ago. So further confirmation that we are not in our current time, but some altered reality, some time altered place. Zarius was trying to figure out what to do with his leg and trying to heal it. He got some leeches from an apothecary. The apothecary was very insistent on getting those leeches back.
Yes.
So hopefully we're going to be able to uphold our end of the bargain.
Luckily, the leeches didn't like age out.
T-Hole got a small jar of mineral oil. It's got to be good for something.
Healing mineral oil is how it was billed.
Yeah. We went to an inn called Olagron's Oasis. We took a short rest. T-Hole, I remember T-Hole like talked to the proprietor, and then they died. They died and nobody noticed. Let's see.
I'll can jump in there. So there was, you also talked to the innkeeper's wife who didn't notice that her husband's corpse was on the ground. And you discovered that like all of like the liquids that she was pouring were disappearing even before you could drink them. There were also two patrons there, one of whom eventually died without his companion noticing, but he did suggest that you should look for Chronosopher Zephyron, and that he lived on the outskirts of town. So you eventually made your way to the outskirts of town and found out where this guy's place was. He then explained to you that this whole place is sort of trapped outside of time, and that he drew not you guys so much as Aurelia there because she's the only one who can end the torment of all the souls that are trapped in this weird pocket of time. And so to do that, you had to get into this underground area beneath the central temple of the city. He then died, and you got a long rest in at his place. And he sort of suggested, well, first of all, he said that Mordenkainen is responsible for all of this because he set up a spell by which he was going to drain all of the Dragonborn of their life force and then use their life force to craft this gemstone that could be used as a prison for the Pasha of the Fricks. And you know that he was in fact imprisoned in some sort of gemstone. So apparently it worked, but it left everybody sort of permanently frozen in death here in this now lost city. Which possibly Mordenkainen had just moved to this dimension because he had accessed it before. He set up the Great Colony, and it's a good place to hide a city full of the dead because very few people were going to find it otherwise. You made your way into the temple and pretty quickly found your way down into the catacombs underneath. You came into a room that had a giant mirror and not much else. Objects in the mirror didn't quite show you a true reflection of the room you were in. And Zephyron gave you a riddle to solve about how to get past the mirror. Aurelia figured out that if you try to step through the mirror without seeing your own reflection, you can do it. There were probably, if you were invisible, that probably would have worked too. The actual thing suggested that maybe you just blind yourself and then make your way through that way. But just not looking at your reflection was enough. So you all made it through the mirror and into this ritual space rather enormous and once fancy ritual space choked with dust, with a ring of thousands upon thousands of dragonborn corpses around this golden contraption in the center of the room. There is a ray of light shining upward from the golden contraption up to a black sphere identical to the sort of portal that you saw when you were in Malakar's Keep, and identical, although smaller than the one that Aurelia had to close when you returned from Malakar's Keep. Moving into the room, then some of the bodies began to move, and you started to be attacked by these weird mummies and sheets of skin, and then just this floating sort of mist of energy that can envelop you and tries to essentially invade someone's body if they can get themselves into your square. I'm pretty sure T-Hole was the one who then ran forward into the center. No, maybe it may have been Aurelia. I forget who ran to the center of the room.
It was T-Hole.
Definitely Teal.
And then running to the center of the room, the metal contraption began to unfold and open, and a mummy lord stepped out in wizard robes. So somehow associated with Mordenkainen, he is still here. And you continued to fight. But the party's a little bit broken up in this room now because T-Hole was getting, I guess, a little too damaged by the Mummy Lord. And so he was near the center of the room. Zarius managed to make it over the wall of corpses. As it is, it's a little bit of a climb to get your way over the ring of bodies around the room itself. The room's also divided into separate levels, so there's a little bit of a drop between these different rings that lead to the central area of the room. Easy enough for like T-Hole to jump, but it's be a little slower getting out if you're Zarius or possibly Aurelia, assuming she doesn't just teleport out. So at one point, T-Hole started to move away from the Mummy Lord and towards the I'll just call it northernmost part of the room.
Yep.
Right. And I mentioned that you're not necessarily sure that there's no undead up there. You're just sure they're not moving at the moment.
Yeah.
I would also say, Teal, give me 2 perception checks.
Oh boy. What dost thou see?
So as you're sort of moving past the contraption, you do see inside the contraption, it doesn't appear to be very big from the outside. It looks like it's much larger on the inside. And you can see large piles of like coins. There's gemstones scattered in there and just items of various sorts. But you do notice in particular, there is a golden staff with a cobra's head flared up on one end of it that you would actually recognize as something you once owned.
Is it within reach?
No, it's about, so the entrance to this thing is about 20 feet away. You're also not sure if you went inside, if you would be trapped in there, because the Mummy Lord can presume that's where the Mummy Lord came from. So presumably he could just go back in. But it's 20 feet away to get to the entrance and then like another 10 feet to get to the staff. So 30 feet from where you are.
If I
And that's-
dash, if I dash with, I might be able to, I can get in and out.
So technically not your turn yet, though. We're starting off with the room begins to, you see sort of misty tentacles of black light begin to come up from the floor and are waving in the air all around you. And they seem as though they all flow upwards and into the various undead around the room that are all now glowing unnaturally with a black light. And then it's Aurelia's turn.
All right, just let me know when you want to teleport out of here. 'Cause it seems like we're headed for a no-win situation. This
I mean, one other thing I should add is that when Zarius did use his turn undead ability, like he immediately destroyed a bunch of these undead. Like I think all of them. I'm not sure any one of them survived.
Yeah, but with like most of Xarius's abilities, he's kind of hesitant to use them at times and will save them. Presumably to
Let's
the
get
last
us.
moment.
Let's get them grouped up. Real nice. All right.
I mean, you also have action points again, so you could
There's
probably
yeah, indeed.
either use it more than once or expand the size of the effect or something.
Okay. Let's see here. To make this. I'm assuming the whatever those undead things are on the ground, right? They're not floating in the air, correct?
So the mists that are around you are floating in the air, but
Right.
you discovered that they can't actually just attack when you move.
Right.
They can only do things on their own turn.
Okay.
I forgot you did cast fly. How high up are you right now? I don't remember.
40, 35. Oh, we'll just say 40 feet.
Okay. So you're out of the range of the mummies though, and the physical undead. It's just
Okay.
these gaseous mist things.
All right. I'm going to use dash action, and I can do that when I'm flying, right? That counts.
Yeah.
And fly it would double my move, right? 60.
It,
So I'll
it
get
lets you take a move and then you can move again after that.
Oh, gotcha.
So
That's what
yes,
I'm
you
going to
can.
do. So I'm going to go right past Xarius because he wants all of them clustered together. So good. Since they're following me.
So where you are now, you're about 60 feet above the floor below you because the floor dropped out.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Anything else you're doing?
Uh,
I don't recall if you had inspired yourself or not.
yeah, I did. I used one thing to inspire myself. Yep. Yeah, that's it.
Or Zarius never uses his stuff. I'm not sure you are inspiring other people anymore.
That's a very limited resource, unlike Xarius's abilities. So it's
Hey, you get more of those than I do for short rest.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
You got like what, one per charisma modifier or whatever?
Maybe.
I got two.
What are you multi-classing? How come we only get two of those? That's some blow.
That's
Jared,
you don't get a third.
let
You
me
don't
get
get
on
a third
Twitter
one
and
until
talk to Jeremy Crawford right here. Let's see what's going on. It's some bullshit. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
So one of these flaps of skin moves down and moves up to Zarius, but that's all he can do. This one has to double move to get there. This one, they all are going to have to do that. So these skin-like things seem to be moving up.
Hmm. They can't have this skin.
You want to do? Then it's the Mummy Lord's turn. So the Mummy Lord just moves a bit closer to you, T-Hole, and tries to give you his dreadful glare. So I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
You got it.
Okay, so
Just-
you made it. That means you are, however, immune. Oh, no. You have to succeed by 5 or more. He can try to do it again. So that's all he can do, though. So that's his turn.
She has gotten quite vocal.
Oh, yes.
And Teal, it's your turn. The mummies have all advanced, but they didn't advance far enough to get to anybody.
Hmm. T-hole is going to I'm gonna attack one of these skins. I'm gonna attack one of these skin suits. Let's see, it's because he has his arms out. So yeah, I attack this one. Is it still up?
Sorry, we didn't see what damage you did. Which one were you attacking?
The upper left one does seven radiant damage.
Yeah, it's still up.
Oh shoot! So these aren't necessarily a one wonder. I'll attack again. 14.
That hits.
10 radiant.
Still up.
I'm gonna use a Kai point to step of the wind. To disengage.
Still do your martial arts die.
Nice.
So it is not looking good, but it is still up.
Yeah. I'm gonna disengage and do let's see. Is there like in Roll20, is there a hotkey to like draw the path and then have it move along the path?
Not that I'm aware of.
That would make too much sense.
Uh, 7. So this would put him at 27. I think 7. It's 20 at 27. And then he's got 30-ish feet left of movement. And that is gonna go. Yeah, I think he's just gonna jump down the path. I think there, I think is what 30 feet is. Yeah, that's 30 feet.
Okay.
So yeah, he punches one and then ducks away and then takes a leap off of the platform to go back towards where his party's at.
Okay. Anything else you're doing?
Nope, that's it.
No, it's the mist turn. So this one is going to get up to flying Aurelia, but it's not going to be able to take a turn. And these sort of similarly are going to be able to get up to Aurelia, but they're not going to be able to do anything. Yeah, actually, that one's just going to descend to Zarius. And Zarius's turn.
Um,
As you see this face in the mist descend around you.
right. I want to get to the center. And I don't know. I don't remember specifically how far I can move along this contraption.
So what's Zarius doing?
I would like to move closer to this fucking thing somehow.
Can people hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can't hear any of you, so something's happened to my headphones. Let me try resetting them.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Make sure it's not me for some reason.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it was me because I couldn't hear anybody,
Okay.
but now I can.
Cool.
Sorry, what's Zarius doing?
I was looking to just get as close to the center as I can this turn with my dashes and everything.
Okay. So like this creature here.
I'm not gonna worry about opportunity attacks because I have the sanctuary. It's gonna have to make a save anyways.
Right.
If it hits me, it hits me.
Okay. So it's the only one in range, but let's see. I forgot to make it save. So if it made it save, it missed. So you're fine either way.
The save is gonna be an 18, so
So it didn't even make the save.
perfect. And then did I cast protection from evil and good on somebody?
You did, but you lost it. You
I
got
lost it.
you got damaged and you failed the con save. The check.
I barely. Yeah, that's annoying. All right, I believe it. I remember vaguely now. Okay. Sorry. So how far can I move here? What's the terrain like again?
So you had to hop down 10 feet to get where you are. There's
Yeah.
another 10-foot drop here. So basically it costs you 10 feet of movement to go from this one square to this square.
Okay, got it.
And then
that's the first 30 feet.
right. And so now you can just move 30 feet. It's a gentle
Okay.
slope upward into the center of this room, but this is like a large, broad floor in the shape of an eye.
Mm.
Also, I forgot to mention this guy is like enveloped in Spirit Guardians. So you could also
Right.
definitely see that.
Got it. Okay. Um, that's an action and a movement. My bonus actions aren't amazing. T-hole, how far are you from me?
In terms of health,
Yeah. I'm making sure you were like within range. If I could potentially heal you with some healing word.
yeah, I mean he's sitting at about half health, so it's not dire, but you know, it would be nice.
Right. I understand. Here's a Let's do it. Amazing. Amazing rolls. Healing word.
Oof. That's for
Okay.
Teal.
Yeah. See, this is why I normally let you go down. 9 hit points? Come on. What kind of heal is that? What am I, a life domain cleric? What you want from me? All right. That's gonna be it for me.
And you see the mummy lord raises a fist into the air and says something in a language you don't understand. And once again, all of the negative energy that was coming off all the undead seems to evaporate. But once again, you find yourselves now wrapped in negative energy, or at least Aurelia and Zarius do. And you had experienced this before, and it seems to interfere with your casting spells of 4th level or lower. Or it potentially does. And it's Aurelia's turn. I think we lost Peter.
No, I'm still here. I was just looking at something. Sorry.
No problem.
Um, I do that. Oh, there's Sirius. Okay. So, hmm. See here. Just gotta see this. We're going from there. 30-foot radius is
Fairly sizable.
yeah. If I moved in between you guys, could I catch you in 30-foot radius? Oh shit. Oh yeah, well, okay. Yeah, I guess I could. Okay. But it's like a 60-foot drop, isn't it?
Yes. It's 70 foot if you move out to where those two are.
70.
There, because there's a 10-foot drop about, oops, I'm on the wrong tool. There's a 10-foot drop that's just like 10 feet away from you, right at the edge of this.
Okay.
But I mean, you can fly pretty fast, so you could almost certainly close the distance.
Yeah, but what I was thinking of doing requires concentration, so don't. Hmm.
I mean, you still have your cat ring. You
Yeah.
could fly down 30 feet and then just fall. Probably be fine.
Yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, I guess I could do that. I might have to take some damage because I want to go out like to about here and then break my concentration. If I have to drop, well, if I could get, let's see, what does the ring give me? I think it's 50 feet. I don't know how that.
I forget what the.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't looked
50
at the ring
feet.
in a while.
So if I could fly at like an angle to like 50 feet and drop down.
I mean,
I mean, if
it's,
I have to take some damage, I take some damage.
you just have to fly down like 20 feet. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. You could do that.
Okay,
And
so
be
yeah.
50.
And I break my concentration, and there's no rule that says like a 4th level spell, you can't use a 5th level slot, right?
No, you could do that.
Okay, because I definitely don't need to be making no checks and have it fail. So I'm going to cast Aura of Life. Concentration. Okay, why didn't you post that? She don't like me. And that should catch Zarius and T-Hole. It's okay. Okay, each non-hostile creature in the aura, including you, has resistance to necrotic, and its hit point maximum cannot be reduced. In addition, a non-hostile living creature regains 1 hit point when it starts its turn in the aura with with 0 hit points. So I should have resistance, and my hit point maximum can't be reduced. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's gone.
Nice.
Minutes. I would post it, but it's on the war horn, and I don't know how to do that.
What's the spell again?
Aura of Life.
Yeah. And I'm going to send some inspiration over to Zarius.
I feel like maybe that's a paladin spell. So it's not on my spell list.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
wow.
aura spells are generally paladin spells, so
Oh,
that
okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's my turn.
Okay. That one has to double move, but it starts, one of the boneless begins to approach Aurelia. These 2 guys are going to approach Zarius. He'll have to double move. So 2 of them are going to be able to attack Zarius. 2 of the flaps of skin. Oh, it has to make a save. I forgot.
Yeah.
So it failed. The other one also failed. Quite make it up to you this time. That one can if he double moves. So this one here is right next to Aurelia. So one of the boneless is going to attack Aurelia. I assume a 10 does not hit.
Wow, it doesn't. Yeah.
Man, they're never going to get to suffocate anybody.
Uh, okay.
Motherfucker dashing.
Yes, because I keep forgetting he has legendary actions, and he walks very slowly. So So that's what he does. He gets Zarius into his the area of his spirit guardians and almost but not quite gets Aurelia into that same area.
Is his spirit guardians, is it the necrotic version?
Yes.
Nice.
That's all the mummies moving. Heal.
Let's see. T-hole is going to. Is he within range of this skin mask?
Yes. I mean, you're within range of 2 of them if your arms are out.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if he
Oh, you
moved.
mean could he attack? Yes, one of them could.
All right. I'm gonna attack this one.
Those are both hits.
And then, oh wait, that's not what I wanted to do.
It's also your martial arts tie.
I'll take the 8s while they roll. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to do 2 more attacks. Does the 13 hit?
Yes. In fact, you kill it. It is shredded by your punches and dies.
And then I'm going to move away and then down next to Aurelia. Did that second, was it the second punch that killed it?
No, it was the third. It was the last one, the 20.
The 20, that's what, yeah. Okay. That's going to be my turn.
So the mists have been pursuing Aurelia, so they're just going to keep trying that. But this one mist is going to go up to where T-hole is. Let's see. And this one is going to descend around Zarius. So I need Aurelia to make me 4 con saves.
Good
And
grief.
T-hole and Zarius to make me 1 con save each. T-hole made it, so you're fine.
17. 11.
So is anybody spending any action points?
No.
Okay, so Aurelia, 2 of these things begin to invade your body
Of
and
course they
drain
do.
your life. So the
5.
first one does 11 necrotic.
So 5.
Right. And your hit point maximum, your hit point maximum can't be reduced, right?
Correct.
That's what it does. Okay.
But
So
technically, I
that's,
have to make a concentration check. Yeah.
do you want to use an action point?
But I have inspired myself.
That's true.
And that is a D10, I think. Yes.
I think that's right.
Okay.
And then the second one,
5. Another
5.
5.
Make me another con check or concentration check.
There you go.
That's fine. And then Zarius is also affected by his one, taking 3 necrotic damage. Oh, this is a weird one because this isn't really an attack, but I think it should have to make its wisdom save anyway.
Hmm.
Never feel hesitant to remind me when I'm not making checks for these sorts of things because I just forget.
Yeah, I don't. It's this is one of those weird ones where I just assumed it wouldn't matter. That would not be
Yeah,
enough.
it does. Yeah, right. So you don't take that damage. I feel like it has to target a creature, so I think it has to do something. So it should be effective. So you don't take that damage, and it's your turn.
Um. Okay, so I don't know how many action points I would need to use to be
It's
able
always
to
a good way to
envelop.
start something. I don't know how many action points I need to use.
But I'd like, to somehow envelop this whole fucking place, get rid of as many as possible of these fucking things.
So let's see.
It's normally 60 feet.
Is it? I thought it was 30.
I think it
I
might
think
be
it's-
30 feet actually. Yeah.
But if it were 60 feet, you basically could get everybody anyway, except for maybe ones that are still in the pile. There's
Yeah,
one
that's
down at
what
the bottom. One
these
slow
all.
poke at the bottom you couldn't get.
Yeah, he's gonna pay off for being slow. Oh, see?
That's the thing. I don't want anything that might be fucking lingering in the pile to come out after us either.
So, I mean, here's what I'll say. For an action point, I'll let you increase the radius by 30 feet. So if you want to
Okay.
spend 2, you could get 90. That's not quite the whole room. But if you spent 1, you could basically get all but this one motherfucker at the bottom.
I would do that. Don't use both action points. I think that might be.
Yeah, that's not good enough. But 60 feet.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, yeah, so let me see here. If I dipped just to catch it. Well, yeah, I guess I don't have to actually do. I can just still do this. What about from here? So if I went one corner or one caddy corner space, it seems like it will catch all of it when that's moving out here, at least.
Right.
Did that look right to you?
Yeah, that's right.
How are you doing? How are you drawing it?
Well, whenever I use the and I change it off the line to the circle
On the measure
for the
tool.
measuring tool on the
Right.
upper left side.
Right.
If you click the distance thing, there's a little well, so you're probably using the old interface. They have a new updated interface.
Oh, excuse me.
So this is like, yeah, so this one, like I still using the old interface on the one that I'm screen sharing from. So it doesn't have that.
Okay,
But
okay, good.
if I toggled a setting somewhere in the settings, it would show me a thing where I could change it to a circle rather than just lines.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I was wondering where the frig this was. It's like I don't see that shit. Okay.
Okay, I have now shifted the one space. If this guy wants to make a roll to try and, oh wait, you know what? I gotta make a wisdom save anyway, don't I?
Yes, you're right. You do because of the
Thingies.
spirit guardians.
Let me see if I can get this. Wow, what the fuck? I rolled a
You
2
are
and a
in-
5.
You are inspired.
Am I inspired? Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
I
missed that.
inspired you. Yeah.
Sweet. What's that? A D10?
Yep.
Yep.
Let me I'm gonna go ahead and roll that. Hey, and I got a 10.
So yeah, that is enough that you only take half damage.
Half to half, right? Because it's necrotic.
Yep.
Right.
Beautiful. This motherfucker upcast this shit? Jesus Christ.
6. You take
Yes, he
6 for
did.
that?
So that's
Right.
what? 27, right? So reduced to
13, 6.
down to
Thir-
13 to 6.
13. 13 to 6, yes.
Perfect.
But yeah, are you concentrating on anything?
Not anymore, no.
Okay.
Luckily, Sanctuary is not a concentration spell. Of course, it's going to go away once I do this. So I'll just recast it if I feel it's necessary. All right. You ready to make a bunch of rolls?
Wow. Yeah.
I am ready to make a bunch of rolls.
All right.
Yay.
I performed the action, turn undead. Fully expecting this guy to like buff some of these things near him.
So that is not the lair action he took this round.
However,
Yeah, he did that in a prior round when all of the when they were all exuding necrotic energy, everything in the place was buffed. So they had
Mhm.
advantage, but they don't have that right now. So
Beautiful.
what's the DC? The wisdom
It'll be
save?
18. Yeah, wisdom 18.
oh, right.
That's the wrong thing. Let me do all of starting from the top. Does that say +1?
It does say +1.
Yeah, I don't know. It shouldn't say
That's for
that.
bless.
Yeah, they don't have that.
So do we need to have somebody keep track or no?
No, I'll keep track as I go
Okay.
because
Okay.
they
Because
basically
it's
all
either dead or it's fine.
Okay.
I think. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I killed everything except for obviously the Mummy Lord.
Yeah. Sad.
+4. Wow.
Right. It's because it thinks there's bless on. I'm just ignoring
Oh, okay.
that.
Okay. Okay. No,
Rather than figure out what I
no,
hit.
that's fine. I was just, I didn't, you said that and then it dawned on me it's randomly rolling. Okay.
Where's the next one? Down there. Oh, one made it.
That fucker.
I think that's all the boneless. And now we'll do the mummies. So let me just mark these guys as dead.
Those were the skin flap guys or something.
Yes.
Okay.
And they never got to suffocate anybody. So maybe this one last one will finally get to do that. Meanwhile, Tony, you can think of what it looks like as you manage to extend the range of this thing and kill probably everything in the room.
I just pray really hard. It's just more like a full-on repulsion, like the distaste for what is happening here is through the roof. So it's like it's a mixture of like practically anger the closest approximation of anger that my character feels.
And yellow ichor comes out of his eyes.
I would imagine with Zarius, it's just like curmudgeonness. It's not anger, it's just disgust.
Yeah, just like, yeah, practically seething, honestly.
This thing.
What is turn undead look like? Like
It's yeah, so that's what was in this instance. I sort of imagined it as a this not necessarily glowing radiant energy, though it is steeped in divine magics, due to the nature of my own patron deity. It's more like I envision the energy being a lot more gray.
yeah.
And yeah, and it just I stamp my my quarterstaff, which is kind of a focal point for a lot of my my stuff.
I'm gonna give that guy at the bottom a green dot because he survived.
Wow, it's that bastard. So green dots survived.
Yes. And then I have to do the mummy lord still.
Mm. He doesn't have any. Surely he has turn resistance.
You rolled for the mummy lord.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does not have like complete turn immunity.
Yeah,
But he does
maybe
have-
not immunity, perhaps resistance. I don't know.
Right. So he has advantage.
Well, you already rolled for him. In
For the
one of the
mummy lord?
save, yeah, one of the saves up there, because it said wisdom save +9, and I was like, what the hell? It said mummy lord.
Oh yeah, 22.
You go back, yeah.
I do see it there, mummy lord.
Oh, okay. And I should re-roll for. I see. I just confused them for a mummy because they're very similar pictures.
Yeah.
So I should re-roll the save for this one mummy that I undercounted. So he's actually dead.
He thought he made it. He thought he was going to pull through.
So suddenly these things just start bursting into piles of dust. The skin creatures mostly fall to the ground with a sort of sickly thud and stop moving. I forgot about the mists. I still have to do
Yeah.
the mists. They also will die. But the mummies all just begin to turn into clouds of dust that are floating up towards the ceiling. Only he had bless. One made it.
God damn it. One made it.
So all the ones, the one that would attack T-Hole is dead. It's just the one that's around, one of the ones that's around Aurelia that's still alive.
Of course.
Well, there were 4. Odds are if one of them survived, it was going to be one of the ones around Aurelia.
Of course.
So the mists merely just evaporate. You hear the low moan as the faces begin to disappear, and then there's just the dust that was there already floating around in the room. Is Zarius doing anything else?
I'm gonna continue to move here, back out of this stuff. So did 5, 10, 20, and select, 10, 15, 20. I kind of like this aura, so, so that's both my normal channel divinities. Oh yeah, that's right. And then so all right. So we have the Lord, 1 mist, 2 mummies, skeletal mummies.
So there's 2 mummies left.
2 mummies, and then this guy, right? This smothering type.
Right. And one of the mists. That guy survived.
Yeah. Okay. 5 is a more manageable number, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, you do not belong here. And it just like expands and shunts them, a lot of their bodies, as they're just disintegrated, shit like that. And then let's see here, is it worth it to sanctuary again? No, but perhaps we can do a spiritual weapon. I think it's every 2 levels. It's better damage. So
It is.
I'm gonna do that and have it swing at. Oh, actually, you know what? I should probably start to try and deal with this mummy lord. Yeah, I'm gonna have it come down and swing at the mummy lord. So here's my little shing. Swing. So I'm gonna cast it at 4th level to increase the damage to 2d8. Hoping I hit though. Will it hit?
It's not.
Cool. It's exactly what I expect of a spiritual weapon. Alrighty, that's it.
Okay, so the Mummy Lord will finally use one of his legendary actions, since it's on my mind that he has them. And there is a burst of negative energy that sweeps outward from him about 60 feet, catching all 3 of you. And you can feel it clinging to your skin like slime, coating you. You're not necessarily sure of what the effect is. Zarius may be able to figure it out, but it's not something that the rest of you have experienced. Zarius, you can give me a medicine check.
Mummy hates.
Maybe it'll fight with the other disease we have.
So you would know, and the others would not, that it is just like solidified negative energy around you, and it's going to prevent you from regaining hit points until it evaporates off, which it seems to be doing quickly, but it's
Got
there
it.
for now.
Probably, yeah, like a turn of chill touch.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then he utters another word, and once again, you feel yourselves, Aurelia and Zarius feel yourselves enveloped in negative energy that's sort of oozing out of you like a gas. And it's Aurelia's turn.
Mm. And I didn't even eat cabbage today. Um, all right, there we go. Mm. Oh wait, here, and I'm going to cast. Yeah, that's 5th level spell. And I'm going to, let's see, 10-foot radius, so I'm going to center it on the Mummy Lord. Hopefully I can catch the mist. I think.
You can definitely catch the mist. 10-foot radius.
Okay. I don't know if I could catch the other guy, but center on the Mummy Lord, so.
The other guy's just sort of out of it.
Okay, all right, so yeah, at least get 2 out
I
of
mean,
3.
right. Technically, it'd be easier for you to catch this guy if you didn't quite center it on the Mummy Lord.
Okay,
but
as long as I catch 2 of them, that's fine. And the mist is well,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
all right.
So what's the saving throw? Dexterity.
Dex, yeah.
So Mummy Lord, let's see. So he failed. The mist. So the mist made it.
Oops.
So these black spheres come down, slamming into them, causing them both significant damage relative to their hit point totals. Anything else you're doing?
I'm gonna inspire myself again.
Okay.
That is it.
Move that for a second to get him out of the way. So the boneless moves up and towards Zarius. But that's all it can do. Because it had to climb up a ledge to get to you.
Perfect.
The Mummy Lord is going to move up towards Keyhole. So first it's going to dreadfully glare at you. So I need you to make me another wisdom save, Teal.
All right. Just made it.
And then it's going to punch you.
What a dick.
That hits. But it's
So now I
not.
need you. Right. Now I need you to make me a con save.
Is this considered a poison or a disease?
That's right. You're immune to disease. It is a disease.
Yeah. Yeah, that does it.
Well, you take half necrotic.
Yeah, so that's 13 plus 10, so 23.
And then the mummies. To there, so he's to double move 1, 2. The closer mummy is able to get up to Aurelia, so one of the mummies is going to attack Aurelia. The other one is sort of approaching Aurelia, but didn't quite make it there. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
So 9 bludgeoning, 5 necrotic, and I need you to make me a con save, unless you're
Right.
immune to disease.
No, I don't think I am. Okay. Take. Oh. God damn it.
So you already couldn't regain hit points this round, but now it's like permanent. Until you cure this second disease you picked up.
Let me use an action point. God damn.
I mean, it's only at 12. You technically could make it with a bardic inspiration.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
It is a tough one, but you know, how many bardic inspirations do you have left versus action points?
Let me use an action.
Okay,
Okay.
you made it.
You still got your bardic inspiration.
Yes. And then we need to make a con save to keep my thingamadoodle. Of course, I rolled a fucking 6.
You can use that bardic inspiration.
Yeah, no, I gotta that's yeah.
You could save that. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
not with that. God damn, man.
So then the question is, now that the aura is no longer up, does that mummy rot kick in where the maximum hit points are decreased?
No, because I saved for that.
Yeah.
Right.
But would it have? I don't know. I have to think about whether I would retroactively apply the
I'm
effect.
gonna set a record for the most con saves made in one combat.
We are fighting mummies.
Keyhole, it's your turn.
Is this the mummy lord?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch it back.
Yeah, you should.
Um,
Every hit, it's got to make a con save to keep that fucking spirit guardians up.
Right. First, you have to make me a wisdom save
Wisdom save,
because you're in the spirit guardians. So you made it. So you only take half damage. Let me find it. So you take half of half rather. So you take
So-
five necrotic damage. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not in that aura anymore. So you just take half, 10 necrotic damage.
Unless you happen to be innately resistant to necrotic damage for some reason.
Right.
nope. Nope, that's
That ain't one of them.
And now you can punch away.
yeah. I will punch him. What is this?
Nope, 3 of them hit.
2 of them are good. And that's the martial arts die.
mummy is also of grave cleric grave domain cleric.
Negates one.
And I'm gonna spend Kai points, one at a time to attempt a stunning strike. So we'll start with one. I remember this guy having a high con.
Did. So you're gonna spend 3 Kai points if you need to? Is that the plan?
Well, I'm reserving the right to
Wow.
I mean,
Succeeded on the first.
right. So you're doing it again, I assume.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Are you doing it again?
Do it one more time.
And he's done.
Hey, that guy. And that'll be T-Hole's turn.
Now I have to make some con checks for him. Damage again. Still 10 and then 11. So his Spirit Guardians are still up. And the one remaining mist is going to move up and envelop T-Hole. T-Hole, make me a con save.
Yes. It makes
it. Zarius' turn.
Yeah, okay, so let's bonus action. See if I can hit him right quick with my spiritual weapon. Hey, all right.
What's the damage?
Make sure this stuff. Oh, it rolled the damage again for some reason. Or not the damage with the to hit again, but looks like it's 19 damage.
Yep.
Force damage. Spirit weapons or spirit guardians?
Oh, right.
Sure. I'm considering using my other action point to get one of my channel divinities back and attempt to blast away the remaining little guys. Seems like the thing to do. So yeah. I'll just I'll use my second action point to regain a channel divinity and then use the turn undead again. Wisdom DC 18. Wisdom save DC. And I believe I got all of them within the circle here, so
yeah, they're all within 30 feet, I'm sure. This is a mummy lord.
sure. He gets a +9 on that motherfucker. I bet his deck saves are fucking garbage though.
You know, they're not as bad as you might think. They're not good for him.
Yeah, yeah. Compared to +8 and +9 on con and wisdom.
All right, come on, mummy who is really far away. You've survived this long. You've never given up on anything in your whole life or on life. Damn it.
He thinks he's gonna go. He's like, no way, he's not gonna get me. And I'm like, no, you go away too. Like he's like the last remnant. He's like reaching out, and I just look at him, and he's like, ah, fucking disintegrates.
So only the mummy lord is left standing that you can currently see. Anything else you're doing?
I'll just take another step this way. Stay out of the way. If he wants to, oh, actually, you know, hold on. So I did. Might go a little bit further actually, so that if he wants to hit either of us, he can't get everybody in the Spirit Guardians. That's my goal here. So I think I'm good here. I think. Yeah, perfect. All right, I'm good. No, I'm good.
Oh,
What?
did the mummy lord? Well, after I punched him, he should have made concentration checks for his spirit guardians, right?
He did.
Oh, he
He
did.
made them. Yes.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
scroll back up.
We got to do a lot
after-
of damage to him to make it real hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was for his. That was those cons. Oh, those con saves are for his. The stun.
I see 6 of them here. They're just displayed differently. The second 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he made
there's a bunch like.
Oh, I see. I see. Never mind.
There's an 11 here. Was this for which one was this for?
So there's many con saves going on.
Yes, there are.
Right.
Yes.
For these concentration checks, he got a 22 against the first crit, a 20 against the second crit, and a 12 against the third non-crit.
Right.
So he made them all.
Gotcha. Okay. My bad.
No, it's fair. It's like I said, never feel bad about reminding me to do something because I might forget a saving throw or something like that. You see beneath the wrappings around this creature, you could see a sort of thrumming black energy begin to pulse, and it's Aurelia's turn.
Doesn't sound ominous to me.
Where is it
Activated.
pulsing from?
It's just coming out of his body.
Oh, okay.
His I'm gonna guess all that. That's probably true. I'm gonna cast. Well, I can move after. Let's try another spell. And I'll hit the mummy lord again. Oh, look at that. Higher level cast 1. I rolled a 1. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. That was very nice.
Oh, well, he automatically fails his saving throw because he's stunned.
That's right.
So he takes the full damage otherwise.
Alright. Okay.
I like how the black spherical death strike deals radiant damage.
That's right.
And his con save. This one, you know, C15, he could fail. He failed. So this, you watch as the circle of demonic entities that were flying around him disperse into the air.
No. I'm gonna move down here. All right. And I'll inspire myself again. Because I need it.
Working for you.
He's stunned, so he can't do anything. Teal's turn.
Well, I'm gonna continue to press the advantage.
That's 3 more hits.
Well, I got
Do
advantage.
I
don't
get
you?
advantage because he's
Oh,
stunned?
you're right. You're right.
And die. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to apply another stunning strike.
He's already stunned.
Yeah, but he could get out of it on his turn, right?
At the end
Right,
of your
but-
turn.
At the end of my turn.
That's
So,
when it-
yeah.
That's when stun normally wears off, yeah.
So, I mean, but how would you know if he succeeds or fails? He's already stunned. So, like, you spend a point here, are you going to keep spending points? Because he's not going to look any different. There's not going to be a visual cue.
That's fair. I
I
guess
mean, he can't tell from the flow of the key through the body.
I don't know.
Isn't that the concept of it?
What's the rule? This
You
is not well described.
you can interfere with the flow of Kai in an opponent's body.
Right. So but his Kai is already interfered with.
Yeah.
So-
So you wouldn't know because that's fair. So yeah,
Doesn't mean you can't do it again. Just to be safe.
well, we're in less dire straits than we were. So I suppose it's fine.
Anything else you're doing?
No, that'll be it.
Oh, skip Zarius. Zarius, it's your turn.
Yeah, bonus action to
And you notice the mummy looks less stunned.
right. We'll do this. Some solid damage, 19, very nice.
Hold on. For what happened there, I deducted the wrong number. I think. Okay, good.
Just leave it for now. I had that anti-magic field just in case, but I think we might be okay now. I guess so he's emanating the magic, or
Yes, there is some sort of necrotic energy that is humming through him. Though what effect it's having is not clear.
sure. Um. That maybe.
He also, he looks severely damaged. So if that helps make a decision at all. He's not like, not like one firebolt away from falling over, but
Right.
significantly impaired.
I don't know. I have a big spell that can affect something underneath 50 hit points. But I don't know if that's really something. That's a curious thing. I don't know if that works. Oh, okay, that's to spend an action. My understanding of the spell was slightly different. Okay. Seems to be attacking T-hole the most. So, oh, this is a touch spell. That's gross.
Like it has some sort of beef.
I'm not much on the damage, and I
Probably
don't
a
think
damn relative. That's what it is.
yeah. I've seen this motherfucker's wisdom out the fucking wazoo, so I don't know if it's worth it. Sacred or border. Yeah, you know what? Fuck. We'll do Sacred Flame. So Dex save DC 18.
He failed.
He takes 17 radiant damage.
He is not dead, but he's even closer to dead.
Alrighty.
I would hope it would be even closer to dead. The alternative is much scarier.
He's been healing this whole time with every attack.
Yeah.
Let's go a little more onto this central area to be ready to set up for whatever we might need to do here. I don't know if I'll need to help or not, but here we are. Yeah, I already did my spiritual weapon, I believe. Yeah, so we're good. I'm good.
Okay. And Mummy Lord's going to use one of his actions to attack T-Hole with a punch. So let's see.
That's a hit.
So you had to make me a con save.
It's just a hit. It's for that disease effect, right?
Oh, that's right. You don't have to do that then. And then once again, Aurelia and Zarius are enveloped in a sort of, or exuding a black mist from your skin.
Just us.
Just you, not Teal.
T-hole is downed.
So Teal
That's
has
Darius's
crumpled.
favorite time.
Yeah, there is prime time. Yeah.
So Aurelia,
Darius
it's your
like
it's your turn.
rubbing his hands together, or his claws together.
It's it's like that meme of the guy like right behind the tree. It's like, oh, yeah. Licking his lips.
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I take that back. So you're not exuding a mist. I didn't realize T-Hole was going to go down. So T-Hole has gone down, and now you're all covered in that black slime again.
The black slime, the non-healing slime.
Yes.
Got it. Just us though.
T-Hole as well.
Oh, okay, got it. Understood.
but it's Aurelia's turn.
Ah,
You have another one of those.
another one of those what?
Those spells you've been casting.
Well, I don't know how many spells I'm going to need to like perform this whatever Meducal, but I guess it really don't matter if we're dead.
He's getting close. Just gotta hit him.
I imagine you guys are just yelling at each other across the gulf.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the reveal that this is just the mini boss.
All right, I'll hit him again then. At least attempt to. Dex save.
Oof.
So you made it.
All right. 20 damage.
Okay.
I want to negate his
Wait a
crit.
second. What am I
Wait.
doing here?
What do you mean? You have something better than that?
I'll make him re-roll. I'll turn back time. I hadn't used that yet.
All right, share.
Hell yeah.
So Zarius and Aurelia, you both see a small hiccup in time as he manages to evade these black spheres that are falling down upon him and somehow inflicting radiant damage. But then you see him rewind in time, and this time he stumbles into the path of them. And he falls over. And the black thrumming gets far more intense. And he explodes. And I need you to T-hole, you just fail. So you take 2 failed death saves.
Oh God.
Because he's within 5 feet of you. But I need Aurelia and Zarius to make me dexterity saves.
Oh, dexterity.
Oh, I'm so good at those.
Dexterity. Not afraid.
Yep. So good at these, man.
So Aurelia, you take half of this as necrotic damage.
Okay.
Zarius, you take the whole 56. But the Mummy Lord is dead. And because I am not Mike, there is not another boss waiting in the wings.
28 damage.
I will spare the dying as I approach T-hole. Make sure he doesn't bleed out. I guess
Okay.
he's got to make a save on his turn before it really is before I get a chance to, right? If
I
we-
mean, so
How we
yeah,
doing
you
with the
know,
initiative here?
technically
of-
that is true because it was Aurelia and
you
then
just took 2
T-hole.
failed ones.
So I need you to make me a death save, T-hole. I think T-hole has action points though.
T-hole does have action points.
It might be worth it.
Do you want to use one?
Yeah, well, hold on.
I mean,
I don't know what
Aurelia
it's like
doesn't get-
reviving you.
Aurelia doesn't get to reincarnate you that often.
That's right. I mean, I could still cast it. I might have to put some stuff together, but
A death save is not a saving throw. So I will use an action point.
Death save is a saving throw.
You're
One more.
Are you not proficient in these? Or shouldn't you be?
No,
you
you
I-
don't.
should be.
Oh, yeah,
Are
as
you
a monk.
proficient in all saves.
Proficient in all saving throws. This is a saving throw.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was just a 50-50 shot.
No, it's a saving
Unless
throw.
you're a high level monk.
How does one mark that you're proficient in death saves?
So you should have made the
Probably
first
within
one
your
then, right?
settings. Yeah, the first one I think would do it, right?
Yeah, the
Your
first one
but
you
you-
should have made it.
Our proficiency
Yeah,
bonus
you-
is a 5.
So you didn't really spend an action point.
Yeah.
Probably within the like year, I would imagine. Death save modifier. Yeah, you could put in a modifier on the death save.
Proficiency bonus. Cool. I will do that.
All right.
Yeah, so yeah, that would make that one a save since my proficiency bonus is 3.
Additionally, you could also spend a Kai point to reroll death saving
Yeah.
throw.
Yeah, but if I do that, like you have to take whatever comes up. So I was gonna use action points, and then if those all failed me, then I would use the Kai point and just be like, all right, this is what we have to go with. But
So the room is silent, but the dust of the many, many dead still is being inhaled regularly by all of you.
Of course.
Keyhole is unconscious and probably will be for a couple of hours unless you magically heal him.
Okay, we loot the body. I mean, no.
Yeah, I'll be bringing him back up.
man,
Quick, steal his clothes.
he got knocked out.
No, he doesn't.
He's already took those off, right? Isn't he in here naked?
He was prepared.
He
Yeah.
was naked at the mirror. I don't know if he put his clothes back on before coming through.
I don't know if you remember, but the pants were breakaway.
Yeah, they were. I'm going to study this black sphere to see what I need to do to it.
Okay, so it's pretty high in the air, but and it's not something like there's not much in the way of visual cues. You do, however, still remember what you learned about them,
Right.
and the rituals necessary to close them. So it will take several hours.
Okay.
If this connects to some other place where there are people, it probably will send a wave of destructive energy towards them.
Oh, well, sucks to be them.
So I expect to cast heal, but I need to make sure that he's not gonna he's not under some bone chill effect still. Did that go away?
Actually, when it gets to by the time you get to cast heal, it will have gone away.
Okay.
So you have 70 hit points to heal.
He just rockets back to life.
So in order to close this portal, you'll have to make a couple of spellcaster checks. You also, because it's like 50 feet above the cage, you're basically going to have to be right next to the apparatus in the middle of the room.
Okay.
Thank you, Zarius.
My leg is like still pretty like it's a little bit extra jank. So like I imagine I had to I put the spell like in the mouth of my my staff and like touched your chest with it. So it went from there. So that I don't have to bend over and try and fucking heal you.
And Aurelia, as you approach, you would also notice that the interior of the apparatus appears to be a finely appointed room that's much, much bigger than the apparatus itself seems like it could hold.
Oh, okay.
And you
Oh,
can
but-
see that there's a vast amount of treasure scattered about that room.
Oh, okay. Do we want to collect any of this stuff before I close this thing?
You hear a voice come from the bottom. Oh, hold on.
Is there anything? Did the Mummy Lord have any like cool jewels on him?
He
He
exploded.
does. Right. He did. But he is in pieces now.
You
Right.
probably inhaled some gems, so you blow your nose, you could probably get something.
Let me know if you need any enhancements.
So
You-
let's take a 5 minute break, and then I will tell you what you find on the Mummy Lord and in the room.
Sounds good.
I guess everybody can make me investigation checks while we're away, but I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Don't think I'm exhausted, so. If it's a spellcaster check, it's what? You just roll your charisma?
Oh, right. If it's just a spellcaster check, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You'll
just a
be,
charisma. You get your charisma bonus? Okay.
As your as a bard, yeah, you're adding your charisma bonus.
Okay. So I don't know how many. I'll have to do a couple of those, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you know what you'll need, just let me know and I can cast enhance ability.
Okay, yeah, I think it's spellcaster check. So, oh yeah.
When it comes to it, I shall give you Eagle Splendor.
Thank you.
Come on.
So is Zarius casting Detect Magic?
Detect magic. Do I think I need to?
I mean, you can see that there's various items in this room. It's not
Oh, okay. I see what
necessarily
you mean.
immediately obvious which are magical and which are not. And maybe they all are, for all you know.
That's fair. I'm willing to do that. Do I think that prolonged exposure to the environment here is bad for us?
Make me a medicine check. Yeah, you don't think that you want to be in here too long because it's probably an extra dimensional space.
Sure. All right. Then yeah, I will not ritually cast.
Well, I mean, you
I will
could
cast.
cast it from outside. The room itself, even the extra dimensional space is only about 30 feet across. So it's not like a whole building. It's just a very nice, nicely appointed suite. So if you ritually cast it from outside, you could probably still detect whatever's magical inside.
All right. Seems
That's
good
good
to me.
because that's good because I wrote up this list of things just separately identifying the magical stuff and the non-magical stuff. So, but I now imagine Zarius is just like perusing it a safe distance from the door, which is why you got a 5 on your investigation check. But so I can't put this in chat because it's not playing nicely. The formatting I used is not playing nicely with chat, so I'm just going to use a handout. There is all sorts of stuff in there. Some of the stuff actually, so you do find on his body, you find he has a bronze skull cap that is, you know, fairly ornately designed with geometric patterns that looks reasonably valuable. There's a series of like journals that he had on him, although they're kind of exploded and destroyed. And there was a spell scroll on him that is now kind of exploded and destroyed. But it's still evident that it was a spell scroll of Mordenkainen's ephemeral obliteration. So it's still worth a fair bit to a collector potentially, even though it's no longer a castable spell. So that's in the 2,500 gold piece art objects section.
Start shoveling them in there. In a bag or something.
Is
There's-
the staff in here?
Yes,
Oh yeah, the second
it's the second thing.
Yeah, T-Hole's gonna pick that up. I don't know if he can, or if he finds it with his investigation check of 9, but he
I
did see
mean-
it before.
Yeah, Aurelia's investigation check was good enough to find all this stuff.
Okay.
So I just assumed you've pulled it out. I'm also assuming somebody's going into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pull
T-Hole would
this stuff
definitely
out.
go in. Like his curiosity would get the better of him in this case.
So make me a history check. Are you trained in history?
I am
Okay,
proficient,
see,
but not very good. Oh, that was a pretty good one.
I mean, so you would remember about the staff, that the staff is exceptionally good at, beating people with.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
He remembers the welts that it caused. Um,
And you don't remember much more than that. Like, it's hard to draw from memories that are that old. But there's something like truly extraordinary about the staff. You just aren't recalling what it is. You also realize that there are actually cobra heads on both sides.
well, just gotta beat it from with both ends.
Right. So, I mean, basically you would have to short rest to figure out what these things are.
Yeah.
Since nobody here can otherwise just cast identify and figure it out instantly.
You see T-Hole kind of, gazing upon this item. He says, "This is a very old artifact. I remember it. Remember it being firm in the hand." And he gives a good heft. It's like the weight is familiar. And he just will kind of swing it around.
Helicopter it.
Yeah.
So there is also embedded in the ceiling of this room in the center, sort of the focus of the magic that is flowing through the apparatus, an enormous ruby the size of a human head. But it is embedded in there, so getting it out could be difficult. It's pretty obvious it was not intended to come out.
I could shut it off for about an hour.
How?
Incredibly high level of magic.
Well, Teal's outside the room. This is inside the room.
Well, yeah, I'm outside too. So, at least for a moment.
Sorry, I meant Zarius is outside the room. And
Yeah.
T-Hole and Aurelia both make me con saves.
Oh boy.
Friggin' con saves.
You sticking with the 9?
You know what? I'm gonna spend a Kai point. You know what? I'm gonna use this feature, and I have to go with whatever this is.
I mean, you do still have 18's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll
Sticking with
take it.
you. Okay. You both feel the astral plague strike, but you managed to shake it off.
Teal checks himself.
I need a con save for that.
So
pants get ripped
Yes.
off so we can make sure it's still there.
So Aurelia, after looking at the gateway, you imagine it is probably going to take you about 8 hours to seal it. And that's assuming your checks are successful.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's pretty much all you can do during that 8 hours is really focus on the ritual of closing it.
Okay.
So it requires concentration. What do the other two want to do?
Get the hell out of this room. Now that there are penalties for being in here that are apparent. Well, grabbing
you'll
as
have to-
much stuff.
Right. You'll have to figure out what you're taking. I assume, actually, I guess I don't know who has like the bag of holding.
Does this group have a bag of holding?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got one.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know
I
whether
thought
or
you
not
had it.
Clave had it.
Oh, maybe.
Clave has it.
No.
So you're not gonna be able to carry probably like the coins.
T-Hole, just use your incredible speed to grab a bunch of stuff and just dash back and forth. You remember the shuttle run back in school? That's what you got to do here.
Yeah, actually, Zarius, you're pretty sure that would be worse. If you keep coming in and out of the room.
No, throw it through the door. You don't come through the door.
Right.
You just throw it through. Yeah.
We'll never get it out. Whatever I throw will.
The items, at least. We do not need the gold.
He would throw the items out. He's gonna take the staff, and stow it on his person.
Be sure to grab those specific gems, though. Bring those to me.
Right, and it probably would take you time to free the ruby.
Right.
The ruby's
I
also
love it, but I don't expect to ever get that one.
Right, the ruby's also 20 feet up, so you'd have to walk up the wall, presumably, and then work on prying it out. So we don't necessarily have to figure out tonight what it is you want to take. But if you want to try for the ruby, we should probably do that.
Teal's not really. He doesn't feel the need for the ruby. Although if Zarius really wanted it, he would
okay.
attempt to try to pry it out for Zarius.
I'm not greedy. It's a lot of effort. We don't need to hurt ourselves further.
Okay, so what we should do is one of you should just decide you're going to figure out what actually was taken from the room. Just so we have one person just making a final call on this.
Sure.
And just make it reasonable. Like whatever you probably take all of like the little items and gemstones if you wanted to, and all the magic stuff, obviously. Just, you're not going to be able to get all the coins, so maybe just leave those and take everything else. I think that's sort of fair. But if you want to take some of the coins and leave some items behind, they're not all great items.
I think that's fine. I mean, I think leaving the coins and taking all the items and then sort of sifting through them is a fair policy.
Okay, so we'll just do that then.
Yeah, some of these like art objects are they're a bit much, anyways. I mean, historically, there's quite something.
Yeah, like the story behind the decree issued by Grimfelis.
I would, if I know that's there, I would ask for that to be grabbed.
So that's the, I mean, it should be
And-
able to grab most of it because it's not very big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever we get a chance to rest, Teal would be interested in reading through the journals, the journal entries by the
So yeah, those are mostly destroyed. So they're not going to tell you much more than you already know about how this city came to an end. There's a little bit more there about him fighting alongside Mordenkainen in the War of Flame and Sorrow. But it's, there's nothing of particular interest. People
Okay.
who don't, people who are, history buffs might pay money for that. But not very much because there's not much left of them.
Yeah.
That's why they're in that sort of low category. If they were intact, they'd probably be worth a lot more. But they're not. They were blown up when he exploded.
Yeah.
So they're basically 25 gold pieces per book.
Makes sense.
So you could read those. You could also, so you have basically 8 hours. So you could go through and try to identify all of these items that you found between you and Zarius while Aurelia works on trying to close this thing.
Yeah.
So
I just need
Aurelia,
to know like when, because 8 hours is a long time. So my enhance ability isn't going to last the whole time. So strategic moments. I have to probably make the sacrifice
Right.
of the plague.
We will
And
have
enter
a
to
proper
give-
strategery to complete this task.
Do you have to be right? You have to be like basically right up underneath it, right? If I remember correctly.
yes, it has to be essentially right next to the apparatus you have to be within 60 feet. So
Right,
it's 50
yeah.
feet up.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily clear that there's like one moment where you can just guidance to get a bonus on the caster level check, because it's like a cumulative thing over the course of these hours.
Yeah, but I have enhanced ability, so it's like that's an hour's worth of time. Maybe if I can, I don't know, maybe towards the end, help out.
I mean, there will be 4 caster checks she has to make. Maybe more if she fails some of them.
Right.
That's where it might go beyond 8 hours.
All right, got it. We'll come up with some hand signals, so we watch you from the other side. You let me know, like a good hand, like, hey, good, come enhance, or wait a minute, right?
Okay.
You let me know when you feel good about it.
Oh, and I didn't say the first thing on the list, the 2 small colored stones, they're inside a crystal box, and they appear to be just they're hovering inside the box and appear to be orbiting each other. But I'm sure T-Hole's probably going to identify the staff first.
Yep.
Is Zarius trying to identify anything?
I guess. I also liked the staff because my own staff has a snake on it, but I guess since if you got that one,
Teal, like, if you mentioned it, Teal would explain that this is something that he once owned, or one at least.
yeah, I caught that, so I was like, yeah, we're good. Then it's going to be sorted at some point.
Yeah.
So I'll look at
the spell scrolls don't have to be identified.
Yeah. I don't think a tome is going to be inlaid with intricate artistic patterns. Do I have to like do anything special to open this tome? Can I have like a quick glance at it?
I mean, you can. It might not say what it is on page 1.
And that's why, leaf through a few pages.
Right. It would be easier to identify than some other things because you can read bits of it.
Yeah.
But it's not, it still will take, an hour to figure it out.
I'll do the stones.
Okay, so each stone is different, so each one would take about an hour.
Geometric shape or
Yes.
cool.
I don't remember what the geometric shapes were or the
Yeah, I
colors.
understand.
I'd have to look them up.
A rhomboid and
So you could do them both though, just to speed this along. So give me both of you give me an investigation check.
I'm good at this.
Oh,
Darius, give me a second one because you're looking at two things.
Hey,
So you're 100% sure that these are, we'll call them Thost stones. And the second one is sustenance. The first one you haven't figured out yet.
okay.
T-hole, you work for an hour and you haven't quite figured out what it is. You're sure it's for hitting people.
yeah.
That's all you've really gotten out of it.
You see
So if
him
you
like
wanna-
just trying to like test it against like the sides of things. Just swinging it around. He's like, only I could just get the right thwack.
So try again, another investigation check for both of you.
No, just tell it. Sometimes you need to speak words, like with mine.
God damn it. That one did it.
Oh my god, of course.
So you do realize, T-hole, that it is a very powerful item, but you can sense its power. Like it's filling your mind, and you're pretty sure you're going to have to attune to it to unlock all of its power. But you do remember that it's a staff of striking, which means that if you're attuned to it, it's a +3 quarterstaff, and you can expend charges to cause extra force damage on a hit. In addition to it being +3 to hit and +3 damage.
Pretty good. Let's see.
And Aurelia, make me a caster level check. 1d20 plus your charisma modifier.
Good.
Gonna go with the 11.
Like to go with the 11. Why did that? I did inspire myself.
Good.
I will add that. 16.
So you are able to collapse it a little bit. There's still a fair bit more to go, but you've succeeded at least in the first step.
Okay, and I will inspire myself again. Another check.
No, because they're probably going to identify more stuff.
Okay.
So that's like that's at the end of the first 2 hours.
All right.
So Zarius, are you going to try to identify the stone again?
Yeah.
It still eludes you.
Can't figure this thing out.
Teal, is Teal going to try to identify another thing?
He would take a look at the two arrows, with the arrowheads shaped like Marids.
Okay, give me an investigation check. So these are relatively easy to figure out. And 11's enough. These are arrows of fire elemental slaying.
Nice.
And you can try again in the 4th hour.
Who do you want to roll? Me?
After they do this.
Oh,
you'll
okay,
roll
okay, my
again.
bad.
I'll look at the 10. He'll pick up the 10 arrows untouched by time.
So yeah, these are arrows, 10 arrows plus 2. And the stone you realize is the stone of protection. Now you can roll a caster level check. And you're easily able to collapse it further, figuring yourself to be about halfway done with the process.
All right.
So there's still the tome and the chain shirt. It should say collar, not dollar.
So these are like basically Ioun stones, but
Yeah,
named different. So we have sustenance, which is
And
pretty
protection.
self-explanatory.
right.
Protection +1 to AC. Got it. These require attunement, of course.
Some of them do. I don't know if they all do. It's been a
I
while.
think they all do. Yeah, just an Ioun. If you look up Ioun stone, wondrous item. I guess some of them maybe not. Oh yeah, the rarity varies, but always requires attunement.
Okay.
Yeah. I have no more attunement slots. I mean, I guess I could detune to my armor. It'll still be armor. I just won't get the advantage against dragon stuff, I guess. Might be okay. If it turns out it needs to go that way. Last thing I see on here is a chain shirt.
And the tome.
Oh yeah, and the tome.
So who wants to look at what?
Start looking at the tome.
Okay, give me, you can have advantage on your investigation check.
Sweet.
This you realize is a very rare tome. It is a, what is the exact title of it? It is a, tome of understanding and leadership.
Yeah.
Sorry, leadership and influence. That's what it is. And you'll eventually get it. So I'll just say the chain shirt is a chain shirt +2 of psychic resistance.
Could be useful.
Spend number of hours reading this book. And Aurelia will be quite all right.
I think Teal's gonna try to attune to the rod of striking. And I have the gauntlets of ogre strength. And the satchel of the seeker dart, I think, are the two things that are attuned. And I'm currently that teal is currently attuned to.
You can have 3, so.
Yeah, and just to be clear, the arrows of elemental slaying, it's not just like basic fire elementals, it's any elemental creature from the plane of fire. So it would work on a free as well as fire elementals.
Nice.
That said, I actually don't know if anybody uses a bow that often, but that's what the table said. So, so
Yes.
I have added that now to the list, what these things are. I've updated the list. I guess it's good to leave that there so that we can figure out who is taking what. Otherwise, things tend to get lost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Aurelia, make me another caster level check.
Okay, just a mechanical question. If I was to inspire myself that it only lasts a certain amount of time, I'm good. So if it's just going to go away anyway, I would just add it to the 25 unless I can use it whenever.
Yeah, it would have gone. You would have had to have used it.
Okay, so
Or-
let me just roll the D10. So because I said I inspired myself, I just don't want to. So it'd be 28 then.
Right.
Okay, I just don't want to waste inspiration. Okay, and now I'm making another check. Here we go. 25.
And then you need to make one more.
Okay.
Where
Is-
are, so before you roll, just in case, now that you've basically cleared out the treasure that you want, where are Zarius and T-Hole relative to Aurelia? Because it was described previously as a somewhat dangerous process. Things could go wrong. So I don't know if you're like where you are on the map or not.
So is Aurelia just in one place the whole time, or is she kind of making
Yeah,
rounds?
she is more or less in one place in deep concentration, like to the point where you can see beads of sweat on her brow as she just focuses on this orb that you've seen like contract over time so that now it's not much bigger than a beach ball.
So Teal's gonna give the non-answer of far enough away that it's not in her way, but close enough that if something happens, he could rush in to help.
How far is that in feet? How far is that in area effect?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. What's 30 feet away from? Yeah, he's gonna be 30 feet away. Right there.
What about Zarius?
Just
striking things.
Hey guys, we have a pearl now in case we, actually can identify things eventually. There was a pearl amongst the treasure.
I am Pearl. I've been
Oh.
able to identify.
No, you're not here, so you're not in the party.
That's true.
If we
Yeah,
could
I don't,
somehow
I don't
manage
think,
it.
yeah, I don't think any of you have access to identify them. So,
I don't know about the bard, so.
I
Bard
think
gets some funny
that
shit.
would be magical secrets for a bard. That's an
Yeah.
expensive magical secret.
Um, I am already like dangerous in the fucking disease, this astral plague. So I don't want to go through unless I have to come back through it, I guess. Because I was told that we couldn't really even stay in there, so
Right. She's not inside the apparatus. She's outside of it, but
oh, okay, okay.
she has to be essentially adjacent to it to look up at the sphere that's hovering over the top of it.
I see what you mean. Okay.
Right. And I'm just wondering, because this is potentially dangerous, are you actually 10 feet away from her as you appear to be? Or are you further back in case there's a mishap on this last check? So far, everything has gone swimmingly,
Do I?
but but Peter has a certain track record with these things.
Yeah, I know. I guess I could ask, if I could shut off the flow of magic to it, do you think this would help for your last?
I have no.
Oh, is there an Arcana check or something
I have no
that
idea.
could be made?
Yeah, I mean, Aurelia can make an Arcana check.
Because you said there was like magic flowing down, right?
Right.
If
There
I
is a
can-
light rising up off the apparatus, moving up to the machine. You're honestly not sure if that would help or hinder you at this point.
Okay,
But you could cast enhanceability here for the last check. That would really help.
that's what I'll do then. Yeah.
Okay.
If we knew for sure, if I turned off the magic in that space above you or whatever, I would do that. But I will then, yeah, I will just cast enhanceability, and give you Eagle Splendor, right? Because you're doing charisma checks.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you have advantage.
Oh, okay. I have a been. All right.
So make one more check.
Yeah, advantage.
God damn you and your Eagle Splendor and ruining my fun. You are finally able to collapse the thing down, and you see it begin to sort of spiral in upon itself until eventually there's a little flash and the light descends from the ceiling, and no longer is there a beam or any light in this room at all. It's pitch blackness now.
I listen for the boom on the other side.
You hear no boom.
Oh, okay.
Although after a few seconds, you all find yourself somehow in a rush of wind. You are outside in the desert looking up at the sky. There is nothing around you that you can see. It is just nighttime in the desert.
Okay.
If you are clearly either nowhere near the city or the whole city is gone.
I suppose we did it.
We did something.
Is this where we high five?
This is it seems we're back in our time.
Are we? Can we tell if we're still in the one, like that other dimension, like that?
Yeah, you're certain from the hue of the sky that you're still in the
Okay.
dimension where the Great Colony was.
Okay, perfect. Hey, all right. Let me see here.
And as your eyes adjust, you think you're probably somewhere near the analog to the Barrier Peaks, which means you're pretty far south. Whereas the Great Colony was pretty far north.
Okay.
Oh,
Though you're not sure of your exact position. East or west, you can't tell, but you know where those mountains are. They're pretty distinctive.
I suppose I could probably send a message to Clave now, but we should determine where we are.
He looks for seeing we only have one landmark, which is the barrier peaks, right? Or
Right.
Could we see mountains before, like with the city?
You could, so initially you couldn't, but then when you got to the other side of the temple, when you were looking for the chronosophers of Furion, you did see the barrier peaks.
Okay.
And so as near as you could tell, I mean, they're kind of just like a wall of mountains. You could be in the exact same spot. It could be that the whole city disappeared around you rather than you actually moving. Or you could have been teleported somehow. You do notice that none of you feel the stirrings of that astral plague. So if it was a teleportation effect, it was probably divine magic. And it didn't trigger anything. But just as likely, the city vanished.
Right.
yeah.
Perhaps shunted back into the real world.
Hmm.
We should let us get a better bearing on ourselves and then send a message to Clave to attempt to reconnect.
Yes. We can after communing with Clave, we can see if we can wind walk, make some progress, maybe head towards the barrier peaks.
Barrier peaks would be the wrong way. They're further
Yeah, it's the wrong
south.
direction.
Or at least go high up in the air and see if we can see the city of Dohat Bajar or any sort of settlement.
We would likely need to go very far for this, to see Doat Hajar. Too high. That higher than we are capable of getting, I would assume. Assuming the Earth is this planet is round.
Yeah, that is, who knows?
Surely somebody has done the math here.
I mean, one thing you're 100% sure on is that there's a sun and 4 moons, and they're all roughly the same size, and they circle this world. So who knows?
Uh-huh. Listen, some ancient Greek dude was the first guy who was like, hey, you know what? I think we're fucking round. All right. So like, we got some advancement here. Surely somebody's figured something out.
I mean, how many science textbooks does Darius read in a year?
That's fair. That's also fair.
Also, and there's still layer actions going on because it's still in the turn order. So, who knows what's going to happen?
In the real world. So yeah, I need to see the map again. Like, yeah, here we are. We should attempt to move eastwards. East? Yeah. West.
Where are we again?
You're somewhere in the south. So
Yeah.
somewhere down here, maybe
Yeah.
way off the map over here for all you know. The barrier peaks across the entire continent, but these mountains here are the beginnings of the barrier peaks.
Gotcha.
I need the even further zoomed out map.
Right.
So we are, in other words, like we kind of have a sense of where Doat Pajar is, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, not relative to where
Not
you are
re-
now,
But like generally,
north. Yeah, north of you somewhere.
yeah. And we would know that we probably, we guess that it could be pretty far.
So yeah, you're
Oh,
somewhere down
incredibly
around
far.
here. On the big world map, you're not that far from the Great Colony.
Right.
Well, if we were to at least look for some sort of civilization, water, food would be good.
Right, you're not, yeah, you're not sure, like, you're just presuming that the whatever effect was destroying the food and water is probably gone now.
Yeah.
And a night's rest would be good.
But
too.
yeah, but you're still also in that alternate dimension. So as far as you know, the Great Colony is the only living civilization here.
Okay.
Though
Well,
there may be like
landmarks.
water sources.
Yeah, landmarks
there-
and stuff, natural landmarks should
Right.
still be present.
Right.
So if we can go west for a little while, we should hopefully come across the river. If it seems to be taking longer than it should, then we're already on the other side of, I forgot the name of that river. This river.
That's the Red Nalome is that river.
Yeah. So if we go for a while and we don't come across another river, that means we're on the other side of this.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I guess there's a chance we're down here and we'll come across this one.
True. Or if these rivers even exist, if we're in a different plane.
Yeah, well, again, physical landmarks seem to translate to this realm.
Okay. Imagine closer if
Natural landmarks. The city isn't here, obviously,
right.
but the mountains are.
We could just try to head northwest, and then we will eventually run into the Nihal River.
Yeah, well, if we head northwest, we may hit the Red Nalome first, if we're on this side of it. We got no way of telling. Unless we can identify the Hinjas.
Well, we would know that there's only so many mountains in the area. So if we were head northwest and we're gonna cross mountains, it's probably it would probably be, somewhere around the gates of Sewell or like an area that we're familiar with.
What was the name of that city?
That's Ka'am. Mostly
What was
like
the
a
name of
mark.
city we were just in?
The city you were just in was Qaryat al-Nazr, but it's been lost
I know.
for 1,000 years.
I know it's really old. Do we have like, I don't know, maybe a history check to like get a rough idea as to where it was on the map?
It's one of the lost cities, so nobody really is sure where it was.
Understood. Okay. Yeah. Fly northwest. That's probably our best bet right now. I can let Clave know that we have managed to somewhat escape that predicament.
I hope he's okay.
So what message? I assume you're using sending.
Yeah.
So what message are you trying to send?
I guess we teleported out of danger only to find more. We are safe now. We are heading northwest, but we are very far south. Try to keep it somewhat concise here.
So Clave, you do get that message. Based on our email conversation, it is essentially like right about the end of where our email chain ended. So it's been a couple days. It's been more days than they realize have passed.
Yeah. Well, I'll message you, Kurt, and you can decide what, if anything, comes out of that. Uh,
Well, I'm gonna message Sarius because I just realized something that he would have figured out because of his medicine check.
I forgot what I made that medicine check for.
You were making checks to see whether or not that room was going to affect people.
Right.
Oops.
all right. Sent it to you in Zoom.
All right, sent you a message in roll 20. Sarius.
Yep. Okay.
So Sarius, make me a spellcaster check. Okay. So second message sent to Sarius.
Okay. So I don't get response in words. Understood.
Yeah, and
I'm
it's
just-
really it's as vague as what I wrote. So
Yeah.
you don't necessarily know any of the details about it.
Even at great
Like-
distance, he annoys me.
You know, it could be the It could be as minor as like quick send preparation H, or as major as Afridi gangbang. You don't know
Right.
what's going on.
Either way, something's burning. Yes, I just let them know, like, he has received my message, but it was unable or unwilling to respond with words,
So how does he respond?
with pain. Nothing useful, of course.
Somehow that seems on
Smartest man in the world can't tell me any messages. Can't pull his shit together.
He just must be in a position where he's unable to.
It's not usually how the spell works. Something is, who knows? Something must be occupying him. Too much for him to reply. Unfortunately, it means we have no idea where he is at. But there was a sense of burning. So perhaps he is still near the city to the north, somewhere to the north, west, east, who knows?
Does Zarius make a medicine check with that?
All he knows is there is a sense of pain and burning. And that's
Right,
it.
yeah.
The
If I
burning
were Drew,
sensation.
if I were like one with the earth, could I do a medicine check? Because it's like Mother Gaia, and I don't know, it's dumb.
With an action point, maybe.
I can figure out where we are. All right.
And meanwhile, some part of me just has to say, if Hellware were here, you'd know exactly where you were because he couldn't be lost.
How lucky. How lucky for Hellweir. That dude's fucking dead. There's no way he survived without us.
So we don't truly know where Clave is at.
No.
And even if he was by the Great Colony, still, that is a very far away from here.
Yeah, just a reminder, you also sent Kepri after him.
Yeah.
So she was definitely still in the Great Colony. Though you also
I don't even
you
know
also
if she found him.
right. You also really don't know how long it's been. Like it doesn't, from your perspective, it shouldn't be night. Like maybe day night works different here because it's different plane. But you went into the temple in like the early morning. It should be like 10 hours later at the end of summer. So it should still be like late day, but it's pretty deep into the night. So sometimes shenanigans have happened again.
Of course.
So you're gonna fly northwest? Is that the plan?
I think that's what we should do. Clave would know that we are heading to Dohat Pajar. And that would be our best bet to actually meet up with him, assuming he's able to make it.
It may be worth me using one more spell in contacting Kepri. I think I can manage it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll say roughly the same thing to Kepri. We got teleported to something that delayed us, but now we are here. And did you find Clave? Did you find Clave, and where is he?
Capri responds not in words, but in,
Ah! Yeah, I
in
know.
pleasure.
Man, it's really unfortunate that Ruby got. We couldn't get that Ruby out of there.
Why?
10,000
What?
GP Ruby, beautiful.
It would have made a fine addition to the horde.
I just want to look at it.
Is
You
Aurelia?
do
Is
you do
Aurelia?
hear back from Kepri.
There was a time when Aurelia was like trying to not necessarily court Zarius, but definitely like offering, like trying to had an interest in his jewels.
I thought there was a definite attempt to become Mrs. Sultan. I thought that's what was going on.
You know that Ruby could have been it. The gift that could not be refused.
True.
Yeah, but only Zarius can hold his family jewels. Voluntary celibate once when he took up the cloth.
Like my father before me.
So that's what you get back from her.
Yep. Unfortunately, Kefri never found Clave.
Is she still in the Great Colony?
Yes, but she has found sympathizers. Or rebels, I should say. If only we could have found them. Could have perhaps saved us some effort.
We're not hanging around the front gate.
I would assume Kefri would have asked if these rebels knew where Clave was, at least.
Her message did not indicate that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, she's pretty smart. She has like a 16 intelligence and a 16 wisdom, I think. So pretty good bet she would have asked.
Yeah. And 16 charisma. Only thing he's really lacking is strength.
Right.
I think she's smarter than I am.
She's aware.
Yeah.
Well, shall we continue to head to Dohat Pashar then?
In the absence of a better plan.
It's our best bet for at least finding Clave.
I can attempt again later to reach out to him to see if I can get any more details.
I mean, he didn't respond the first time. So
maybe he's distracted.
you might get more information out of Kepri if you ask a specific question.
But if Kefri doesn't know where Clayton is, unfortunately, I can't use Kepri to like triangulate myself, like to figure out where the fuck I am. That's what we need. We need 3 solid landmarks to be able to figure out where the fuck we are.
So flying northwest then?
Yep.
Seems to be the case.
Okay, so you cast your wind walk and the 3 of you take your cloud forms. It takes you a little less than 2 hours before you come across a very wide and very deep, but also very empty river basin that's the right size to be kind of either one of the rivers. Little hard to say just from looking at the basin.
No,
But and predictably it seems to be sort of you approach it, it's roughly running perpendicular to the direction you're going, because they basically flows northeast, both of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Just fly on.
Continue to go on.
So
like
it's
no signs of like fertile growth or anything like that.
There is, but it's a very different sort of growth here. Most of the plants appear to be red, and it all appears to be scrub. The actual river basins you're aware of had much more fertile land around them. It was much more lush. And farming, you're not sure how easy it would be to farm here, but the farming was much, much easier around the actual rivers.
Yeah, I figured it's probably some slightly adjusted version of it here in this whatever this space is.
Right. Like, I mean, you can see evidence of like maybe at one time there were floods, but right now there's no water in the rivers at all. So it's the plants that are here are barely holding on. And they're barely, they're all plants that are adapted for like low water environments. So it's nothing incredibly lush.
Okay.
So continuing to fly northwest, it's only about another hour before you see in front of you another wall of mountains directly in your path.
Okay. How far would we have estimated ourselves to be from the barrier peaks?
You were probably like within 50 miles.
It's one of these hexes. Gotcha.
15.
50.
Each of these hexes is 15 center to center. To adjacent center, I should say. Right. So perhaps we were about down here. Possibly.
Well, so I would say
No,
that
that's right.
you've
We were
traveled
about
for
50 from.
right.
Yeah,
You've traveled
yeah.
close to 3 hours. So you would have imagined that you would cover like 300 miles in that time.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we were probably closer. We were probably somewhere out here.
Yeah.
Like here. Or even out this way.
So yeah, I mean, so we should kind of shift it a little more westward than northward, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but not too much, because we want to try and find whatever the basin is for this river and follow it.
So we'll do that.
So when you say a little, like using compass points, are you traveling like west northwest now?
Yeah. Like assuming we're, if roughly around here, right? We're gonna go like kind of like this angle on it.
Okay, so so traveling in that direction, you fly over these mountains. Um, they are pretty barren as well. You travel another about 2.5 hours when you see off in the distance what looks like it might be a city. And you can also see beyond the city, there is a pretty large river, and it does appear to have water flowing through it.
Interesting. Probably can't tell if that city is occupied, huh?
Not from the distance you're at. I mean, you could fly right up to it and probably nobody would notice you. But I'm describing this as you realize what's in front of you. Like Zarius, you would have realized it first before anybody else.
Sure.
That said, you don't really have like a way to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clave was the intermediary in Windwalk. So we're just kind of
Doing
following
this au natural.
the herd.
Au natural.
Cloud charades are the worst kind of charades.
Try to gesture and like the wind just like takes your hand.
Right.
But eventually you all see it as you continue in that direction.
I mean, unless we're feeling tired, I see no reason to stop.
Yeah, you
To
really
stop
don't
moving
feel
towards it. Just go
yeah,
towards it.
you don't really feel that much in windwalk form. So it's when you stop your windwalk form that maybe it all catches up with you.
Let's keep going. Or Teal
Go
would be
ahead.
here, but he wouldn't stop.
So after about another half hour, you reach the city. The river is pretty large. Given that you passed, so assuming the empty riverbed was the Red Nalome, then the one ahead of you is the Nahal. You're not sure necessarily, like this city could be just be another lost city. Although unlike Qaryat al-Nazr, this city is pretty much a ruin. Something was preserving Qaryat al-Nazr, but not this city. So sand has almost completely reclaimed this, even though it's in a pretty fertile area around this river. Still, sand has essentially backed up like snowbanks against various walls. Uh, Pillars have toppled over. Most of the roofs have caved in. It does appear, though, you can easily recognize that the overall architecture is Dragonborn. So it was once a Dragonborn city.
Now let's see if we can. Let's keep going. See if we can find. Can we estimate how long we've been flying?
Been about 6 hours of flying. You have another 2 hours.
Even still, it might be worth it. I'll head towards the city still.
So I'm assuming right now you're basically over the city.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'll fly maybe find a place. I mean, okay, if we fly downwards, right? Do we see anything in the city? Any other living or non-living creature?
So right now it is just about dawn, and you don't see anyone in the city. Like I said, it appears to mostly be a ruin, so probably not inhabited. Like maybe some
By something
scavengers,
friendly.
right?
uh, yeah, I'll drop out of the form, like on top of a building or something.
So the other two of you see one of the clouds. You're not sure who lands.
T-hole will wait until the shape starts to form, so I know who to berate. You got a new
So
staff.
yeah, you slowly see Zarius's form take shape.
So uh you'll T will form.
I don't know about Aurelia.
All right, I guess I will
Presumably, you
too.
could still hear in ghost form, or not ghost form, but in this form.
So you are atop what was once a temple. It does appear to be largely intact. A corner of the roof of this building has collapsed inward. The building itself is made of sandstone, and they're usually pretty sturdy. Assuming like somebody didn't come along and purposefully destroy it, it would have taken a fair bit of time for it to get into this particular state. But like I said, it's mostly intact, and the area you're on is pretty sturdy.
I would just, we only have so much longer on our method of travel. It may be worth holding up here someplace where we can more easily be protected and keep ourselves safe.
Yeah, Zarius, now that so you've landed on a place like you're not necessarily used to seeing your cities from the air. But now that you can see the skyline, make me an intelligence check. Um, with the collapsed buildings and everything else, you're really not sure where you are. You don't recognize anything about it.
Sure.
Well, it's
It is an option. Or if we wish to continue on for a couple more hours and then rest in the open dune sea.
It does not sound terribly desirable.
Or possibly near the water, but might be better. But even still, the water would draw life to it. We don't always want to be interacted with.
The river is flowing by the city, sort of like from the southwest up to the northeast. But that's true of most sections of the Nahal River.
Well,
So it's flowing in the right direction for it to be.
Right. I mean, most of the rivers here do flow from the barrier peaks north.
Sure, sure.
If you were like super, super, super far to the west, though, it actually would run roughly east-west. So you're probably in generally the right area.
Well, let's see what else is taking residence in the city before committing to camp down. At least a preliminary scouting expedition.
Let us look carefully.
So yeah, I'm gonna just explore the city. Or Teal's goal is just to explore the city to see if it can find, presence, life of anyone else.
Yeah, I don't mean just break in to say, Mike, I know what Clave is doing at the moment. If you want Clave to start doing something else, just break in and let me know. I could switch focus. Right now, I'm sure he's just gonna keep doing what he's doing for the moment.
I mean,
Sorry. I mean, yeah, you know what he's doing, and then also the other things that he was intending to do with
Right,
any of his spare time. So that's all going to continue.
okay. So just making sure I'm not completely leaving Mike out of this session. But what are
Not
you guys
not a-
doing?
Not a problem.
So gonna look around to see if there's signs of anyone else living here, or see to just really get a sense of if we're really alone.
I mean, this being a temple, maybe there's some. I don't know. Maybe they keep some things here, some holy relics.
So uh, whoever wants to give me an investigation check.
I'm not good at that. I'll help.
I am also not good. I've got a +0.
Well, shit, even I'm better than you are.
So
Aurelius,
Aurelia, you do notice occasionally things start moving in ways that don't appear entirely natural. But the city, like where sand hasn't encroached and buried things, a lot of the vegetation has overgrown sections of it. Like the walkways are all sort of destroyed by vegetation. There are little mini forests growing in this city of like short tropical trees. You do occasionally, though, notice signs of things being disturbed. And off in the far distance, you can see like something powerful is like moving vegetation around. And you occasionally catch glimpses of things that make you think that they might be air elementals. But nearby, you catch signs of things that are probably smaller than air elementals. You're just not sure what. And I don't know if Aurelia shares any of that.
you're muted.
Yeah, I'll pass it along. What I see.
Well, if
But
we
right now, you're on top of the temple, so you might find out more about the city if you explored the city, or you could move on. The air elementals appear to be in the sort of southwesterly direction.
I think this is a fine spot. This seems okay to rest for a while. But perhaps we'd want to use a more hidden quarters to avoid the attention of any of these air elementals.
Dude.
Perhaps there's a place in the church. So
Is there a way inside from the roof here?
Yes, there is, other than the hole in the corner, there is actually several stairwells that lead down from the corners of the building.
yeah. I suppose we'll just descend it into the temple and see if there's some extra rooms that are kind of out of sight.
So all three of you are going, I assume?
Yeah.
So you don't see anything as you go in, but Zarius, you hear very faintly, but still disturbingly close, the sound of high-pitched laughter. Very soft, high-pitched laughter. And it's so close in time to your guys entering the building that you're sure it has to be related.
High-pitched laughter.
Yes. Like picture tiny, tiny people.
Uh-huh. Like children?
Maybe.
Uh-huh. So basically, like right as we enter, I hear it.
Yes. But you
And
see nothing.
yeah, I'll just stop though. Like, did you hear that? Laughter.
Well, this place could use some of it.
Something laughed as soon as we came in. It seems we are already known.
Right. We're being watched. But by whom?
So like whenever we entered, but what did we enter into exactly?
You came down a spiral staircase, a stone spiral staircase.
Did the laughter
In
happen when we got to the bottom of the staircase?
almost as soon as the last of the three of yours head was below the level of the roof, you began to hear it.
Got it. And then into a room, or
Yes. The room itself looks, there is some furniture in it, or at least the remnants of furniture. It all looks pretty mundane. It looks as though it may have been a preparation area for priests who were preparing to conduct rituals, and so otherwise like needed to put on like proper vestments and prepare like ritual incense and things like that.
how big is the room?
It's about 30 by 30.
Yeah, I'll do
Most of
just
that, you do see the remains of like vestments and wardrobes. All of it looks pretty broken up, not necessarily even rotten. It looks like some of it was actually smashed. The vestments are all pretty old and pretty much useless.
just a quick cursory look around the room, make sure there's nothing hiding, or visible or whatever. But with my eyes of the grave, there's no undead in the room.
Uh, what can you detect with Eyes of the Grave?
Undead.
Yeah, there are no undead.
Sure.
But Aurelia, make me a wisdom save.
Wisdom saves.
You feel yourself almost like you get nauseated for a second, but it passes quickly.
Oh. Oh, for a second, I thought Clay was here.
Now, Aurelia, make me a perception check. So as you pass by a bench, you feel something lightly brush your leg, and make me another wisdom save. Whatever it was, you don't see anything under there. It's pretty like it's pretty heavily shadowed under the bench, and there's not a lot of room.
Is there any indication as to a specific deity that they worshipped primarily here?
Not that you can see in this room. If you were in like the main worship area, you could probably see more easily.
Right.
Okay. So it feels like there was a presence in here.
I mean, it felt like something brushed against your leg, something physical, not something big, but like, like a twig or a reed or something.
Sure. I'll cast Dissonant Whispers, see what happens.
Just has to hear it says.
Yeah, this is one of those head scratchers where do you have to know that there is a creature? Like, can you just vaguely target whatever creature is over in that direction?
Well, I'm assuming that they're close enough that, maybe they can hear me and maybe they'll move and we all will see them.
I'll say sure. You could target a vague creature since it's just things that can hear you.
It's like speak out the words and they reach out and try and hit something.
And you see the purple body of a fairly ugly looking bat-winged fae appear and drop from underneath the top of the bench. And all of you now hear very loudly the sound of what sounds like dozens of high-pitched little voices laughing
Hmm.
from all around you.
Perhaps we go back up.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Can I cast a touch spell on myself right quick?
You can.
I cast protection from evil and good on myself.
So you see another one of these purple skinned fae things appear, and it reaches out and puts a hand on Aurelia. And Aurelia, make me another wisdom save.
Great.
Stop that.
At least it's not con saves.
Ha ha ha. Very funny.
Sticking with that.
Yeah.
And you feel like a pall, like a weight has been laid over the top of your shoulders. You're not sure what it is, but you feel off, like something bad has just happened.
Mm.
The
But
cursed.
this creature is still visible for the moment. And she is laughing at you, flapping her little bat wings as she flies around your head.
Has anyone tried swatting it?
Not yet.
Oh, we're not in initiative. I don't know. I cast the
I
spell
mean,
on myself, so I don't know.
Right. We're not necessarily going into initiative. If people want to try to swat it, now is your chance. But
Yeah, I'll fucking swat it. I got no reason not to. On the else, what? Where am I at? Oh, what did it do that for? The fuck? I rolled the button to roll. What are you doing? Roll dice, you asshole. All right. It's +8.
so you hit it. What's the damage?
Well, actually, I get the gate doing it here.
So you kill it and it falls, and there's even more laughter.
Move. Back up.
And the weight lifts from Aurelia's shoulders. And you see one appears in the doorway leading out of the room, and everybody make me a wisdom save.
Hey.
So what are you doing now?
Ushering people back up the stairs. It would seem this is not the place to be.
So are all three of you going upstairs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you proceed to go up the stairs. And then Aurelia, you just stop. Aurelia
Okay.
looks to be in a stupor on the stairs. And the laughter intensifies.
Hence the ushering. I will just keep pushing.
Then you push her over onto the stairs because she's not moving or taking actions. As another of the fey creatures appears next to her and touches her. Aurelia, make me another wisdom save.
Oh no.
And then a third one appears across the room. And Aurelia, make me another wisdom save.
Can I attempt to intimidate these things?
You can, but you notice Aurelia has turned into a very small weasel. And there is much rejoicing.
Okay.
Well,
I will
Teal's gonna like try to protect her. He will allow her to run up his leg. Oh,
Well,
important.
she is a very confused weasel, however.
yeah. You're gonna just pick her up.
Yeah. Does is T-Hole still wearing his silk robes or a silk suit? Or did that disappear?
No, you still have your clothes.
Lucky you.
So yeah. Try to pick up Aurelia and like keep her from harm from these fairies.
So you make it onto the roof now. Aurelia then hops down and begins to move in a random direction.
Yeah.
On a 1, she moves back down the stairs. No, she does not move back down the stairs at least.
Do you have any magic that could
Yeah, I mean,
keep her protected?
I don't know why they have singled her out. So I will cast Dispel Magic on Aurelia. I have to do it at 4th
Because
level.
it's funny, that's why.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean,
I know why do it.
they randomly selected her at first, but then she killed one of them, and that was hilarious.
I killed one of them,
Right, but they had already picked their favorite at that point.
and I have protection from evil and good on me.
Plus,
Well, that
she has a
matters.
charisma of 20, Dragon Boy.
Yeah.
Anybody
I
who
know.
meets this group is going to want to be her friend before yours.
I'll dispel the confusion effect. All right, is this confusion dispel? I think I get access to. So I suppose I should be capable of knowing some details about it. What level is that?
4th level.
It is a 4th level. Huh. That's a good thing I don't have any 3rd levels. I had to upcast the dispel magic. So if I did the confusion, oh yeah, let me. I guess I don't get confusion.
I mean,
that
you
would
know,
make sense.
it doesn't necessarily say you have to have the spell on your spell list. It's just a magical effect within range. So I'm
Yeah,
fine if you
well,
want to target the confusion
I
or
don't know.
the.
Does she really get saves for both effects at the end of her turn?
She will, yeah, she's eventually going to get saved. Well, no, she doesn't get any save on the polymorph. She's just polymorphed.
Okay. Then, yeah, but as a weasel, she's easier to fucking keep a hold of. If she, yeah, I'll stop the polymorph, I guess. Yeah, I'll stop the polymorph. The confusion I can't, not right away. I can't get, but
I mean, you could do either one. I'm not sure why you can't get the confusion.
no.
It
Well,
makes
I
it still
think
makes
I think I can only
perfectly
end one
fine to.
effect per
Yeah, you can
spell
only end one.
cast, right?
Right.
I'm
And
gonna
it's
get
perfectly
yeah.
fine. Like even unconfused, she'll still be an unconfused weasel.
Yeah. Yeah, she's still a weasel.
And
So yeah, I'm gonna
she's
get
not
rid of the
she's not as much of
polymorph.
yeah, she's not much of a people person. So she might leave just because she's a weasel and she doesn't really want to be around people.
Right.
But you end, so she's still confused and she's cursed. But you end the polymorph, so she turns back into herself.
Is the curse still active? That didn't go away whenever I killed the one?
That you're right. You're absolutely right.
I wouldn't, yeah. Maybe she got cursed again. She's made a lot of saves.
Well, yeah, she was cursed once, but they're dead. So yeah, she's not cursed anymore.
Okay.
But she's still confused. Aurelia, you can make me another save though. Wisdom save. Yeah,
Yikes.
so as you feel your mind come back, you also shake off the confusion.
As you stop crawling on all fours.
Let's get out of here.
Pixies, I assume.
Probably.
Some form of them. I don't know how how often I've interacted with pixies, I guess, but obviously tricky little fucks. You know, perhaps it is a bit too much hassle to remain here.
Yes, I feel like we're not wanted.
So I
Oh,
think
we
we
are.
I think we could take them.
We are wanted.
Yeah, we are. They do want us here. Having a grand old time.
Wow. We're not wanted for our finer qualities.
So where to next?
Shall we?
So we follow the river. Perhaps.
Yes. Return to our windwalk forms and follow the river.
For a little
So
while
you
at least.
moving? Are you moving north or northwest or southeast?
Follow the river.
Southeast, right? Well, but the river runs in two directions: northwest and
Yeah,
southeast.
run against the stream, I think, right?
So
Because it runs
southeast,
northeast, right?
right?
Yeah.
Southeast is where you saw the air elementals, though, or where Aurelia did.
We'll say on the other side of the river.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of them. Like they weren't necessarily all on one side of the river.
Okay.
You might still be
never-
able to zip past them. They're not as fast as you.
Right. How far out did Aurelia see it again?
It's
If
not, so
Aurelia's
it's
pointing it out, can I see it?
so once Aurelia pointed out, you realize it's hard to make them out. Like they're not exactly, they're made of air. So what
Mhm.
you're mostly seeing is the trees ahead of you being separated by these things, and then occasionally you do see these forms of essentially enormous, large-sized whirlwinds. And you realize there's quite a lot of them. There's probably like 100 scattered around. So it's not like you'll encounter 100, but there are quite a few of them. And an interesting question is, what happens when you're in cloud form and you try to fight an air elemental?
Are they like, in various elevations as well then, presumably?
Yeah, they're harder to see when they're not like moving the trees around, but you do see they seem to be going up and down. Almost like they're riding thermals.
Right.
Makes sense.
But if we like go higher up for like just fly upwards for a while and then soar over them perhaps? Or can we tell if they're all along the river?
I mean,
Probably
it's
not
hard,
from here, huh?
right? It's hard to say, given that they're basically transparent. It's hard to say from a distance what there must be some limit to how high up they're going. You don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But at some point, they're probably not that high.
Yeah. We have a choice to make about how we wish to proceed on this. Do we think we could just outrun them?
Hmm. We have to, and this is before we've transformed, right?
Right.
Looking at them or in that direction. He'd say, well, it's a tough call. Windwalk is quite fast, but I would expect that an air elemental would also have access to such feats.
Not always. This is extraordinary magics to be able to move so fast.
Wow.
Most creatures are incapable of magic it. I cannot think of a creature who can. Perhaps Clay could if he were here.
Well, I'm in favor of trying to go as high as we can and then trying to outrun them. To as a means to get the least amount of attract the least amount of attention, but still try our advantage of speed or presumed advantage of speed.
Indeed. I
How
shall
high
lead
do
the
you
way.
want to? How high do you want to go?
What do you think? Mile and a half? It's pretty high up.
Yeah,
Even a mile might be okay.
basically just high enough where there is high enough where we won't be able to see any other any of the air elementals.
So we'll say you fly up about a mile and a half, and you feel reasonably confident that all of the air elementals are lower than that.
Because it shouldn't take us hardly any time at all, really, to get up that high.
Right.
So yeah.
You also realize that this is probably like the air is fighting you the higher you get. As the air gets thinner and thinner, you being now made of air are having a harder and harder time. It raises the question of how high could you really go? Maybe you could prove
Yeah.
that the world is a sphere or not. Just fight your way out of the atmosphere. Who knows? Is there even a top to the atmosphere? Maybe it's just air forever.
I'll hit the dome.
So, but you're able to fly past the area where the air elementals were.
Yep.
And you fly the remaining hour and a half ish, hour and 45 minutes. And so the spell's going to run out pretty soon.
So
And it's all pretty much just overgrown vegetation below you near the river. And there's really no time for you to get like out of the vegetation area, so you'll probably have to land there.
yeah.
So that's where we can wrap it up this week. We probably should try to figure out some way to reconnect you guys with Clave.
That's why I messaged. I was like, I was gonna try again after a long rest when I have spells again, more spells again, I should say. Because I figure we'll probably use the tiny hut
Yeah, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I will also be thinking of ways to reconnect you with Clave.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going in a good direction right now.
Well, you're literally going in the opposite direction from where Clave is. So,
One really hoped that he could get himself out of whatever the situation was.
right, but he also
Extricate
can't,
himself.
he also can't like wind walk his way, so it will take him weeks.
That's fair. That's true. Like, well, if we know where he's at, I don't mind going. I don't mind going to get him.
Know where he's at. He's at the Great Colony.
We don't know that. He's got
Oh,
crazy magic too. Like,
That's fair. He could be not at the Great
you
Colony.
didn't give me fucking anything to go on.
No, I didn't, and I have good reason for not.
I believe you. Like, fuck, damn it.
It will
Just like,
definitely
even-
be a
Even when I'm
reunion.
trying to help him, he curtails me yet again.
You have terrible timing. It's not my fault.
That's fair. That's something me and
Meanwhile-
this character have in common.
Meanwhile, Kepri's like, good news, allies who've helped me. My friends are coming for me. I'm sure they'll be here any minute now.
I will be messaging Kepri again.
yeah. I thought that city for a moment was one of Clave's creations. Is like he escaped and he made like this fake city out in the desert and was just like fucking with us.
That would be funny.
That's pretty good.
Just as the pixies attack, the stairwell disappears.
All those
Yeah.
pixies were gonna fucking get it because I was gonna just cast. I was gonna cast Spirit Guardians and just fucking walk. Let them have to deal with that.
I mean, we weren't in rounds, and so I'm just winging it. That means unlimited pixies.
Yeah. It was fun though. Oh.
So 2 weeks, people are going to be around.
Yeah, should be good.
Maybe. I have a early. Well, actually, I have to let you know. I'm doing like a weekend trip in the White Mountains that usually involves like an early morning wake up time. But I'm gonna find out more details in the coming week or so. But I might be I could make part of it at least, but I wouldn't be able to go the full session.
Yeah, I mean, we'll play it by ear. If you have to be up super early, and I am warning, we can end it early.
Yeah.
Like we could have ended it. We could have ended it earlier than this, but I was just sort of hoping some opportunity to reconnect you with Clave would appear.
Yeah, I think yeah, I'll know more. I'll know more, and so I'll let you know when I know.
Okay. All right. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
All
Have a
right.
good
Brilliant.
night.
Later, everyone.
Good night.
All right. Take care.